All right, great Friday morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Seth Muscardo Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, and with our 15 minutes of mastery that we do each and every day to get you some information, inspiration, motivation, so that you can go and attack the day. Listen, every single day something happens. Every single day you run across problems. Maybe it's in your life, maybe it's in your business. Who knows what exactly is going on? But that's why we come in every morning to get you off on the right foot with something that you can get focused on. And today we're talking about control and why control is your best friend. Hey, Ro, good morning, man. Hope you're doing well down there in South Texas. Listen, we're talking about control. Bill Olay writes, entrepreneurship can be learned. It can be learned. It can be learned. You can take control of your life and make the job you really want. Sometimes we start to think about our career and you start to think about what we do as housing consultants or whatever role you play out there right now. And we lose sight of the fact that you actually have more control over the success in your career than what you do. A lot of times we start to think that we are dependent on the economy, that we are dependent on all these other factors that are affected. A lot of folks are talking about tariffs, and you see all these things are out of your control. But what you do have control over is the amount of effort that you put in. We talk about it all the time. We talked about it here yesterday, right? You can control your actions and your attitude. So how are we responding to these talks that are going on? How we respond to the news all around us will affect the amount of effort that you put in. But here is the thing. Money is always circulating. People are always buying. It may be harder to convince people. You may have to put in extra effort, extra work, more touches on your leads, more phone calls, more text messages, more emails, more follow-ups, and whatever it may be. But the fact of the matter is each and every one of you can still thrive at what you do. It all starts with what we think and then how we push through that. And so when you stop to think about this, the amount of effort that you put in is fully within your control. And that's where I tell you that control can be your best friend because of that. Because if you can control your emotions, you control your thoughts, you don't let things affect you too much. We all get affected by different things that may happen around us. But if you don't let it paralyze you, you'll seek out the knowledge and the skills and everything that you need in order to be able to push through whatever issue is going on. All right. We all want to make sure that we're taken care of. We all want to make sure that we are at least surviving, right? I heard that a lot. That was a common thing for a lot of folks here was, hey, I just want to survive. I just want to get by, right? And as long as you put in the work, you're going to survive. You may not like the way you're surviving, but you're going to survive. But at the same time, you can control the amount of effort that you put in that leads to you actually thriving. But that's where controlling your emotions comes into play. It's not a matter of not facing reality, right? Some people would think that having that way of thinking, that everything that I do is going to work. It's not setting yourself up and you're not living in a real world. I completely understand. The majority of the people that we talk to tell us no as well. The majority of the people that we deal with, that we send proposals out to, never end up doing business with us. That's a reality of business. However, I believe that every single one of them is going to tell me yes. Because if I don't, all of those no's are going to affect me. All of those no's are going to bring me down. They're going to slow me down. They're going to slow down my efforts. They're going to keep me from putting in the work that I have to do every single day, even on days that we're here training, right? Because the days that I'm not training, I put even more work into trying to get new business. That's what you do every single day. We are no different. We are always hunting. We're always marketing. We're always talking to people. But that's what I have control over. Just like you. So if you're lacking some sort of skill, if you're not good, if you know you're struggling with overcoming objections, if you know you're struggling with the confidence to ask for the business, if you know you're struggling with product knowledge, the great thing about it is you have control of getting that information. You have control of improving those weaknesses. The question is, are you? Are you taking control of that and improving those weaknesses, or are you just accepting it and moving on and continuing to let that be something that plays a role into your career, into your life, and makes your job a little harder. If we all face the fact and accept the responsibility that whatever happens or doesn't happen is my own fault, once you get to that point, it's a lot easier to handle mentally. You see, when we don't take control or accept that responsibility as an individual, when we don't accept it in our minds and in our being, then here's what happens. We're always looking for the reason why it's not working. We're always looking for the reason why people aren't answering us. We're always looking for the reason why people aren't showing up. We're always looking for the reason why people aren't qualifying. When the reality of it is, it all comes down to us and our efforts. You haven't gotten a deal approved yet, submitted 5, you got to find another 5. That's the control you've got. You don't have control over those 5 that got denied, but you got control over getting some more that can actually apply. But when I let those 5 affect me negatively and I get down because they didn't qualify or they backed out or my pipeline fell apart or whatever it is, now I start to struggle. And that's where I start to internalize and start thinking that it's everything else except me. We have control. And when you accept that control is your best friend. So what can we do then to be able to make sure that we're always taking control of our life and our business? First and foremost, focus on the 2 things that you can control, which are what? Attitude and effort, actions and attitude. However you want to describe it, your work and how you respond to things. Somebody said something you didn't like. How are you responding? I'm going to let everybody know. So one of my bosses, the VP of sales at Titan, would always, whenever he had a message that he knew was going to rub you the wrong way, and if you're listening, Krebs, this is for you. He would always tell you, he would say this: you can take this message one of 2 ways, and I hope you take it the right way. That's pretty profound when you stop thinking about it, because it's not something you want to hear, and he knew that. But when people come to us on things, corrective counseling or some, whatever it is, we messed up on something and they're talking to you about it, you can take that message one of 2 ways. They're coming to you to give you the opportunity to fix it. Here's what's wrong. Here's what's going on. How we respond to that makes all the difference in the world. Am I going to get so pissed off? Am I going to get so upset that it's going to just stay in my mind and I'm not going to put in even work and I'm going to go even deeper in that hole? Or am I going to come out of it ahead and understand, hey, you know what? He's right. She's right. Let me make these few changes and move forward. So I hope you take the message the right way. The next thing we can do is accept that the progress is only up to you. Your progress or lack of progress is only up to you. It's not anybody else. It's not the economy. It's not anything. People are always buying. We may have to double down on our calls. We may have to triple down on our calls, but you're going to they're out there. And you have to be more influential when you do speak to them, when they are in front of you. That's why we say you can't go about doing business the same way you always have in a different type of market. People are buying differently. They're more apprehensive. They're more cautious. Now you have to be even better at being able to speak to people. So your progress or lack thereof is totally up to you. Accept the responsibility of being a leader. You have to take control and lead. You don't have to wait for your managers. You don't have to wait for anyone to come and say, do this. You don't have to wait for your buyers to say, hey, help me with that. Go out and do it. Be the leader that people need you to be. And when you fail, analyze it, adjust, and take action. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Move right into action, because that's going to put you on the right side of things a lot quicker than if you overthink things, you don't adjust, and you just sit there. And there's been plenty of times where I've had it happen to me in my life, where something bad happened, and I'm just thinking about that thing. You know, I can remember one time I was in a really bad car accident, had my younger brother with me, you know, and I sat there thinking over that thing for months. Had I not turned at that time, had I not been on that street, what would have happened? Things that were out of my control. How many times do we find ourselves doing that in our careers also? You can't change the past. look at the future, look at what happened, and go. And lastly, make life happen for you, not to you. The more action you take, the more urgent you are, the more you keep moving forward, the more that things happen for you and not to you. See, when you play defensive, things come at you. When you're offensive, you're making things happen. So go out and make things happen. Guys, we're going to finish up here in Indiana. I don't know if it's French Lick or West Baden, wherever we're at, right? It's a great hotel, great group of people here. It's been a pleasure being with all of you. We still got a full day of it. Tomorrow, we're going to be at one of the locations as well. But you guys go out this Friday, do some great things. If there's anything that we can do to help take your life, your business, your career to a whole new level, please reach out to us here at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. And we'll be back in tomorrow with the Selling Saturday edition of 15 Minutes to Mastery. Until then, my friends, can't wait to meet you.